here is a simple explanation of what pathological demand avoidance is and why I consider it a nervous system disability. Okay, so the first aspect of it is called neuroception, which is just the survival brain's perception of threat. And with a PDA child or teen, this part of the brain is getting activated every time they subconsciously perceive that someone or something is above them in stature, power, or authority, or that they've lost freedom, choice, autonomy. So when that part of the brain perceives that, it tells the nervous system, hey, we're going to die, go into fight, flight, or the freeze pathway, right? So often we see behaviors that are challenging from this. In the fight, flight pathway, we see oppositional, defiant, sometimes violent behavior, aggression, swearing, growling, hissing. Through the flight pathway, we see elopement, climbing on the backs of couches, not doing what you're saying when it's time to go into school, climbing on top of a car and not going into the school, for example. The freeze pathway, we might see selective mutism or shutdown, or going into a turtle shell, or not being able to sort of interact. Like severe anxiety is what it looks like on the surface. But the second part to really understand, and what makes PDA a nervous system disability, is the fact that this constant nervous system activation from the perception of threat, even if we as parents, teachers, or doctors can't see it objectively being threatening, like there's no lion in front of them, that constant activation builds in the system and starts to, either in the moment or over time, disable the child or teen from accessing things they need to live, like eating, like sleeping, like hygiene, like brushing their teeth. If they never brush their teeth, they're going to have impacted molars and they're going to need surgery. Or, for example, toileting independently. The metabolism speeds up or slows down when the nervous system activates, which can cause diarrhea on one hand, and vomiting if it's really fight flight, or with freeze we might have constipation and caprices. And then we have secondary needs, which is leaving the house, movement, going to school. So this is not a behavioral disorder. PDA, I believe, is a nervous system disability that we need to treat like any other disability, even if it looks like behavior on the surface or is fluctuating and sometimes looks like your child is more typical than they are because they are more accommodated in one scenario versus another.